Welcome back to the Maritime Lemonade Stand. I smell terrible. I look sorry. It's 71 degrees here today in the wintertime, and so I've just been working nonstop. Boat is so close to being ready. What I do want to speak about, what I do would like to discuss and highlight is Melbourne. And I don't know if you've heard of Melbourne. Right now you're thinking, oh yeah, Melbourne, right as, rock up there and shave my face with some razor blades and go get pissed. Worst Australian accent ever. I'm not talking about Melbourne, Australia. I'm talking about Melbourne, Florida, and what a fantastic little town Melbourne, Florida turned out to be. Started off with breakfast at a place called Oat Biscuit, and oh my God, what a phenomenal place. I think it's easy to forget that Florida is still in the South, and in the South we know how to make a biscuit, and they're serving biscuits and gravy and sausage and eggs, and if you're feeling extra filthy, they've got these wonderful little desserts down there. So just whatever you do, start out your day in Melbourne at a place called Oat Biscuit. After that, I was just driving and I randomly saw this entrance to a weird looking park place, and so I took a left. As it turns out, it was this really cool area called Erna Nixon Park. Not a lot to see when you first drive in, but they've got this really cool elevated walk through some old oaks and Spanish moss. And again, it's nothing spectacular, but it's well worth the half an hour out of your day. Oh, and by the way, you guys, the midnight stroll is canceled due to weather because it's Florida and it probably dropped to like 76 and people lost their minds. From there, it was over to this cool little area called Ogali, which is French, but it's pronounced. Think of yourself like an exasperated Canadian, just like, oh golly, you're kind of close. And I wanted to check out this place I had passed on the way in because it looked like a beer garden, but on the sign it looked like a Midwestern sunset, and the name was African, so of course that's a place I'd like to have a little snack, a little cocktail. As it turns out, it's a Namibian place. Namibia, of course, having a huge German population, thus the beer garden, thus the African name. Had myself the most amazing little snack there, and I had to ask the owner, all about it.
You had what we call the kapana. It's thin sliced beef, tenderized, and we just seared in the pan a little bit and added nice creamy peri-peri sauce to it. That's homemade.
Rest of the menu looked amazing. They've got a Jägermeister schnitzel, some Namibian goulash, and just all in just a very cool setting. So please go and visit them. Super cool staff, great drinks. Great time. Art is cool. Melbourne, Australia is big on art, so why can't Melbourne, Florida be big on art? And they are very, very much so. First stop was the Fusner Art Museum. Fabulous little place, and 2 rooms paying homage to the great Howard Finster. That would be Reverend Howard Finster. Know the name. If you don't know the name, you're going to know his work. Famous for spreading the gospel through some of the greatest folk art you will ever see in your life. I believe he did he did an REM cover, and he did a Talking Heads cover. A lady working there saw me nerding out over all this and said if I like these kind of things, I should walk around the corner to check out Derek Gores and his gallery, and so I did. What a fantastic little place that was. Derek himself, an absolute gem, especially when it comes to talking about his medium.
I work in collage where I recycle magazine scraps, all kinds of things, make a new piece out of it. I love that up close you see these crazy details, but you back up and you see another image, and it's like my psychedelic drug. It's my vertigo experience, I guess.
By that time, I was absolutely starving, in much need of a snack, so I asked everybody around town, like, where should I go for a local snack, and absolutely everybody sent me to Bonefish Willie's, the greatest little fish tiki shack in all of Florida. It's laid back. It's exactly the kind of place you're looking for. It's right there on the water down the ICW, which I'll soon be taking my boat down, which is super exciting. Great crowd, cheap beer, and oh my God, the snacks. I started with the island gumbo. Delicious. Then the coconut shrimp. Delicious. And then the crab stuffed mushroom caps. Not delicious, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I mean, look at that setting, it's just absolutely wonderful. Guaranteed you're going to go in planning for about an hour. You're going to end up staying 3 hours. It's just one of those places. By then, with all the savory and all the beer, I needed a little something sweet, and so I remembered in town, in Ogali, there was a little cake shop, so I went to the cake shop, and the cake shop was closed. So I guess I had to go for pie. Fortunately, I like pie, and Jones Perfect Pie was right around the corner, and there's a reason that Jones Perfect Pie is always packed and always sold out, because it's wonderful. Go for the coconut cream. Absolutely filthy. So I was walking out of Jones, and some guy gave me a deep-fried hot dog, and I had to eat that.
They're called Ripper Dogs.
Well, then my throat was parched, so I had to walk down the streets to Intercoastal Brewing for one of their famed booby beers. Real name, Booby Beer. All proceeds going to charity. After that, walked around the corner to Meg O'Malley's because Meg O'Malley's is still serving 18-cent bean soup. Shockingly wonderful. From there, walked around the corner to the bar called the Mansions for a little pint, and then a cheeky nightcap at Melbourne's greatest, most worst, diviest, most wonderful bar called aptly Key West Bar. And then finally to bed, full, drunk, and happy. But Melbourne, Florida, what an unexpected treat. Please put this on your list. I know a lot of people go that area for their kids, for Disney World and stuff like that, but it's a town that deserves to be visited. The art, the food, the snacks, the people, the view. I mean, it's just an absolutely wonderful place, and one of those places you don't hear much about. And it's a place I will soon be, like I said, stopping off on my way down the Intercoastal Waterway, which means I need to get back to work on the boat. We'll see you later. I got my ass handed to me on this trip, and that was just as a co-captain. So what I learned is how much I still have to learn. The boat's keeling over, and there's the water, and that's death. I like the ocean. I didn't have the respect for the ocean.